Midnight Express, directed by Alan Parker, and adapted by Oliver Stone from Billy Hayes' memoir, features Brad Davis in a gripping lead role supported by Irene Miracle, John Hurt, Bo Hopkins, Paul L. Smith, and Randy Quaid. Amid the intense drama and harsh prison scenes, an unexpected casting twist nearly shocked audiences. The idea that Marcia Brady, a character known from a very different world, might appear topless in the film. This surprising possibility arose during production discussions, reflecting a bold, if controversial, creative choice that would have dramatically altered the film's tone and audience perception. The notion of such a crossover between a wholesome television icon and a gritty prison drama highlights the unpredictable nature of filmmaking decisions and the risks producers sometimes consider to generate buzz or add shock value. Though the idea never came to fruition, it remains a fascinating what if that underscores the complex, sometimes daring choices behind the scenes. Billy Hayes, a young American, is caught by Turkish police while trying to smuggle hashish out of Istanbul. He is quickly put on trial and sentenced to 4 years in a harsh Turkish prison. Once inside, Billy faces severe abuse and a brutal environment that tests his will to survive. The situation worsens when he discovers that the Turkish High Court has unexpectedly added 30 years to his sentence, turning what he thought would be a limited punishment into a life-altering ordeal. As he endures the harsh conditions and struggles with despair, Billy begins to plot a desperate escape. The story captures his fight against the oppressive prison system and the psychological toll of his imprisonment, highlighting the harsh realities of foreign incarceration and the lengths one might go to regain freedom.
Writing paper, books.
At the start of the film, Billy is shown in an airport bathroom, nervously preparing himself for what he is about to do. He is trying to smuggle hash, and the tension is clear as he steels his nerves. This opening scene is very intense, showing the heightened security measures at airports during that time. The film reflects the reality of the late 1970s when airport security was much tighter because of a wave of airplane hijackings in the early 1970s. This real-life context adds a layer of authenticity and urgency to the scene. As the story unfolds, Billy becomes more and more demoralized by the harsh conditions of the prison where he is held. The unbearable environment pushes him to a breaking point where he decides that escaping is the only way out. His choice is not made lightly, but is born from desperation and a lack of any other hope for freedom or relief. This decision drives the rest of the film, showing the struggle and risks involved in trying to break free from such a difficult situation. Though the story of Midnight Express takes place in Turkey, most of the filming actually happened in Malta. The filmmakers wanted to shoot in Istanbul, but were refused permission by the Turkish authorities. To work around this, the production team chose Malta as their main location because its landscapes and architecture could somewhat resemble the Turkish setting. To capture authentic background shots of Istanbul, a small crew was sent there under the pretense of filming a cigarette commercial. This clever tactic allowed them to gather real footage of the city without drawing too much attention or facing further restrictions. These background shots were then combined with scenes filmed in Malta to create the illusion that the entire movie was set in Turkey. This approach helped the filmmakers tell their story despite the challenges posed by location restrictions and added a layer of realism to the film's atmosphere. A made-for-television documentary titled I'm Healthy, I'm Alive, and I'm Free was released in January 1977, providing insight into the film Midnight Express. This documentary featured commentary from the cast and crew, offering a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the movie. However, the film Midnight Express differs significantly from the original book written by Billy Hayes. In the book, Hayes was traveling alone, which contrasts with the film's portrayal of events. Additionally, the movie includes fictionalized violence that Hayes did not experience in reality. These differences highlight the contrast between the documentary's real-life account and the dramatic interpretation presented in the film, showing how artistic license shaped the story for cinematic purposes.
To know yourself is to know God, my friend. The factory knows, it's why they put you here. You'll see.
Unlike the film, which shows a violent and dramatic escape from prison, the book describes a much quieter and more realistic departure. Hayes manages to escape from a prison island by stealing a small boat called a dinghy and rowing to Greece. This method is less sensational, but reflects a more plausible way to get away without attracting immediate attention. Additionally, the book does not mention any sexual violence against Hayes, in contrast to the film's portrayal of harsh and brutal treatment. Instead, it reveals that Hayes formed a bond with another inmate during his time in prison, suggesting a different kind of human connection rather than victimization. This difference between the book and the movie highlights how stories can change when adapted for the screen, focusing more on tension and drama rather than the quieter realities of survival and relationships behind bars. In the film, the intimate relationship between Hayes and a fellow prisoner is portrayed with restraint, contrasting with the more explicit depiction found in the book. This subtle approach focuses on the emotional connection rather than physical details, highlighting the complexities of human bonds in harsh conditions. Meanwhile, Irene Miracle, who played Hayes' girlfriend, experienced a troubling moment at the Golden Globe ceremony. She was caught in a crowd surge, resulting in her being trampled, which left her emotionally shaken for the rest of the evening. This incident cast a shadow over what should have been a celebratory occasion, reflecting the unpredictable challenges faced both on and off screen.
The prosecutor wanted the life sentence for smuggling. There is quite a difference, believe me.
Miracle faced a tough situation during the filming of a topless scene in the movie. She was worried about how her father would react to it. To help her feel more at ease, the scene had to be shot more than 20 times, and the filmmakers used a privacy box to protect her comfort. This careful approach showed how important it was to respect her feelings while still getting the shot needed for the film. Meanwhile, Maureen McCormick, who was famous for her role as Marcia Brady, tried out for the part of Susan in the movie. However, she was not chosen because the filmmakers thought her strong connection to the Brady Bunch might distract viewers from the story. They wanted the audience to focus fully on the film without any associations pulling them away from the character she was supposed to play. These decisions highlight the challenges actors and filmmakers face when balancing personal concerns and audience perception in making a movie.
Senator Buckley's made a special plea on you.
Casting McCormick in Midnight Express could have had a profound impact on how viewers experienced the film. His presence would likely have brought a raw and intense energy that matched the harsh realities portrayed in the story. The film's gritty atmosphere depends heavily on the actor's ability to convey desperation and struggle, and McCormick's performance style might have amplified these emotions, making the audience feel even more immersed in the protagonist's ordeal. This casting choice could have shifted the tone, emphasizing the brutal and unforgiving nature of the prison environment. Such a portrayal would not only deepen the emotional impact, but also challenge viewers to confront the stark realities faced by the characters, making the film's message resonate more powerfully. The intensity brought by McCormick might have created a more visceral connection, leaving a lasting impression on those who watched it.
You must go the other way. The other way is good.
Midnight Express, the 1978 film based on Billy Hayes' harrowing experience attempting to smuggle hashish out of Turkey, stands as a gripping prison drama that has elicited a range of responses over the years. At its core, the movie chronicles Hayes' arrest, his sentencing to over 4 years in a Turkish prison, and the brutal conditions he endures. The narrative delves deeply into the physical and emotional trials of incarceration, painting a vivid picture of the harsh realities within the prison system. One of the film's strengths lies in its intense portrayal of prison life, heightened by the performances of Brad Davis as Hayes, alongside notable support from John Hurt and Randy Quaid, who play fellow inmates. Their interactions bring out moments of camaraderie amid the bleakness, offering a nuanced look at the bonds forged in adversity. The screenplay, penned by Oliver Stone early in his career, injects originality into certain scenes, contributing to the film's enduring impact as a prison drama. However, the film's portrayal of Hayes himself has sparked debate. While the story positions him as a sympathetic figure, a young man caught in a brutal system, some viewers find it difficult to fully root for him due to his role as a drug smuggler. The film's attempt to cast Hayes in a somewhat innocent light contrasts with the reality that he was carrying a significant amount of drugs, not just a small amount. This discrepancy raises questions about the film's moral framing, and whether it inadvertently downplays the seriousness of his crime. Some argue that the 4-year-plus sentence was actually lenient considering the offense, which complicates the audience's alignment with the protagonist. Another point of contention is the film's accuracy. While based on Hayes' own book, there is acknowledgement that the movie takes liberties with the facts, blending truth with fiction to enhance dramatic effect. The ending, in particular, has been viewed as somewhat unrealistic, which may detract from the film's credibility as a straightforward recounting of events. Yet, this fictionalization is often accepted within the context of cinematic storytelling, where emotional truth sometimes takes precedence over strict factual adherence. In sum, Midnight Express is a compelling prison movie that succeeds in conveying the brutality and despair of incarceration through strong performances and a gripping narrative. Its artistic choices, including the sympathetic portrayal of a flawed protagonist and some narrative embellishments, provoke thoughtful discussion about justice, morality, and the nature of storytelling in film. While it may not satisfy those seeking a purely factual account, it remains an impactful exploration of human endurance under extreme circumstances. As the final scenes of Midnight Express fade, the story on screen may end, but the journey of those who brought this gripping tale to life is far from over. What became of the actors after the camera stopped rolling? Some faced unexpected challenges, while others found new paths that surprised even their closest fans. In this bonus segment, we peel back the curtain to reveal the real-life stories behind the faces you remember. Discover how the cast's lives unfolded, the roles that defined them, and the moments that changed everything. This is more than just a look back. It's an exploration of resilience, transformation, and the echoes of a film that left a mark beyond the screen. Stay with us as we uncover the untold chapters that followed Midnight Express. Peter Jeffries' portrayal of Ahmet in the 1978 film Midnight Express was a quiet yet potent presence, embodying the oppressive atmosphere of the Turkish prison system. His character was a chilling reminder of the harsh realities faced by prisoners, marked by a cold, calculating demeanor that left a lasting impact despite limited screen time. After this role, Jeffries' career continued steadily, with appearances in both film and television, often cast in roles that leveraged his distinctive voice and commanding presence. His life off-screen, however, was shadowed by personal struggles, including a battle with alcoholism that affected his relationships and professional reliability. Despite these challenges, he maintained a reputation as a dedicated actor with a strong work ethic. In the later years, Jeffrey became increasingly reclusive, avoiding the public eye and rarely giving interviews. Reports suggest he lived quietly in the English countryside, away from the spotlight that once defined his life. No recent public appearances or statements have surfaced, leaving his current status a mystery.
Hello, Billy.
Yes, sir.
I know exactly what you feel, but you must not worry.
John Hurt's portrayal of Max in the 1978 film Midnight Express stands out as a haunting embodiment of despair and resilience. Max is a prison inmate whose broken spirit and grim outlook reflect the brutal world of incarceration that the film explores. Hurt's performance is marked by a chilling intensity, capturing the character's weariness and the slow erosion of hope. This role cemented Hurt's reputation as an actor capable of deep emotional complexity and a commanding screen presence. After Midnight Express, Hurt's career spanned decades, with roles in films like The Elephant Man, Alien, and Harry Potter, showcasing his versatility. Despite professional success, his life was not without hardship. In the early 1980s, Hurt struggled with alcoholism, a battle he openly acknowledged later. His personal life was marked by several turbulent relationships and health scares, including a battle with pancreatic cancer diagnosed in 2015, which he fought privately for years before succumbing in 2017. Hurt was known for his private nature, seldom revealing much about his personal struggles publicly, which added to the mysterious aura surrounding him. His legacy remains that of a deeply committed artist whose work often explored the darker sides of human nature. His death left a void in the acting community, but his performances continue to resonate, especially his work as Max, which remains a stark reminder of human endurance amid cruelty.
3 days away, and you, boo! I just wish you could be standing where I'm standing right.
Brad Davis' portrayal of Billy Hayes in the 1978 film Midnight Express was a haunting embodiment of a young man trapped in a brutal foreign prison, marked by raw vulnerability and simmering desperation. His performance captured the stark psychological and physical torment of incarceration, defining the film's dark tone and leaving a lasting impression on viewers. After Midnight Express, Davis's career continued with a mix of film and television roles, though he never again reached the same level of fame. His life off-screen was shadowed by personal struggles, including battles with addiction and health issues. In the late 1980s, Davis was diagnosed with HIV, a diagnosis he kept private for years amid the stigma of the time. His illness eventually led to his death in 1991 at the age of 41. Despite his early death, Davis left behind a legacy of intense, committed performances and a story marked by resilience in the face of profound hardship. No new public information has emerged about him since his passing, but his role in Midnight Express remains a powerful testament to his talent and the human spirit under duress.
In comparison, my problems seem very small. But 2.5 years.
Randy Quaid's portrayal of Jimmy Booth in the 1978 film Midnight Express marked a significant moment early in his career. His role, though not the lead, carried a raw intensity that hinted at the complex characters he would later embody. Quaid's Jimmy Booth was a figure caught in the shadows of a harsh world, a reflection of the darker themes the film explored. After this, Quaid's career saw a mix of highs and lows. He gained fame in the 1980s with roles in comedies and dramas, notably in National Lampoon's Vacation series, showing his range from serious to comedic parts. However, his personal life took a turbulent turn. Quaid faced legal troubles, including a highly publicized incident in 2009 when he and his wife were arrested for allegedly squatting in a guest house they did not own. This event marked the beginning of a series of struggles with the law and mental health issues, which led to his withdrawal from mainstream Hollywood. Despite sporadic appearances, Quaid's career never fully recovered, overshadowed by his erratic behavior and controversial statements. The last known reports place him living quietly, away from the spotlight, his future uncertain, but his past marked by both talent and turmoil.
Dad, I'm sorry.
Paul L. Smith's portrayal of Hamadou in the 1978 film Midnight Express stands out for its raw intensity and physical presence. Hamadou is a brutal, menacing figure, a prison guard whose cruelty adds to the film's oppressive atmosphere. Smith's towering stature and distinct facial features made the character unforgettable, embodying the harshness and danger of the prison environment without needing many words. After Midnight Express, Smith continued acting, but never quite escaped the shadow of this role. His career mixed supporting roles in both American and European films, often cast as tough or villainous characters, a typecasting that limited his range. Off-screen, Smith faced personal difficulties, including struggles with the instability of a career that never reached leading man status. There are whispers of financial troubles and health issues in later years, though details remain scarce. His life beyond the screen is marked by a quiet retreat from the public eye, with little known about his current whereabouts or activities. This mystery adds a layer of intrigue to a figure who once dominated the screen with his presence.
It doesn't stop around here.
Alan Parker's role as the long-haired man at the airport in the 1978 film Midnight Express was brief, but left a lasting shadow. His character was a quiet, enigmatic figure whose presence added a layer of unease during a tense moment, reflecting the film's dark atmosphere. After this minor, yet memorable part, Parker's career did not follow a traditional path to fame. Instead, he retreated from the spotlight, choosing a life marked by privacy and struggle. Reports suggest he faced personal hardships, including battles with addiction and legal troubles that pushed him further into obscurity. These challenges overshadowed any further ambitions in acting, and he never returned to significant roles in film or television. His life after Midnight Express remains largely undocumented, with sporadic mentions hinting at a man wrestling with inner demons away from public view. The last known information places him living quietly, far from the industry's glare, leaving his story wrapped in mystery and unanswered questions about what might have been.
He cleans you up.
Thanks. I'm Billy Hayes.
Bo Hopkins played the role of Tex in the 1978 film Midnight Express, embodying a tough, gritty character that added a raw edge to the story's harsh prison environment. Tex was a figure marked by roughness and survival instinct, a role Hopkins delivered with a quiet intensity that left a lasting impression. After Midnight Express, Hopkins continued to work steadily in film and television, but faced a career marked by typecasting and tough guy roles. Beyond his screen presence, his life was shadowed by personal struggles, including battles with addiction and the challenge of maintaining stability amid Hollywood's pressures. Hopkins' story is also punctuated by moments of resilience as he sought to rebuild his life away from the spotlight. His later years were quieter, with fewer public appearances, and he largely stayed out of the media glare. The last known information suggests he lived a low-profile life, away from the chaos that once surrounded his early career, leaving behind a legacy of memorable, if often gritty, performances. Midnight Express remains a powerful story that left a mark on everyone who saw it. The film not only captured the harsh realities of prison life, but also changed the paths of those involved. Brad Davis, who played Billy Hayes, struggled with health issues later in life, but left a lasting impression with his intense performance. Director Alan Parker faced the challenge of portraying a true story without glorifying violence, creating a film that still sparks conversation today. Watching this movie as a child or young adult often brings back strong memories of fear, hope, and resilience. Did you watch Midnight Express when you were younger? What memories or feelings does it bring up for you now? Share your stories and thoughts in the comments below. Hearing your experiences helps keep the conversation alive and reminds us how films like this shape our lives.
Great, you'll be on the plane home.